Yo, Hideyuki here. The rebelling rose, the messenger of facts, the one born to be berserk, returning yet again with another great video. Oh boy, what bullshit do we have today? What nonsense is going to be on the chopping block? So I got word in about D-Gray Man, right? And this was a manga that I've known about for years upon years. I never really took it that seriously. I read it once. I came back and read it all the way through. And yeah, I just don't see why people are still claiming this series to be one of the best shonen of all time, having one of the best shonen protagonists of all time. And I'm like, what the fuck? Where is this claim coming from? What type of nostalgic bullshit is this? So yeah, that's what we're on about today. D-Gray Man, right? You got to keep in mind, keep this in context. D-Gray Man came out at a time where shonen was all about edge, and you're probably thinking, but isn't shonen all about edge now? I'm like, yes, but this is the precursor to modern shonen edge. This is, the early 2000s edge. This is the period where, you had stuff like Black Butler, you had Soul Eater coming out, Siren was out around this time. Like, you had a bunch of shonen that had that little edge to it, or they try to be like gothic or dark, what have you. You just had tons of these, and same with anime too, right? You had Darker Than Black, Daughters of Ran, you had stuff like that. You had Death Note coming out at this time. You had Code Geass coming out around this time. So the edge was in, all the edgy losers were crowding around during this time. So D-Gray Man is very much a product of its time, and it definitely shows, especially if you try going back and reading it now and reading some of those latest chapters. You'll definitely tell, holy fuck, man, this is dated as shit. Like, damn, man, shouldn't be this dated, but it is, sadly. So you're probably thinking to yourself, whoa, Yuki, but bro, how in the world is D-Gray Man overrated? How is it trash, man? How is it the worst of the worst? And the reason it's the worst of the worst is because I've read the manga. So you losers don't have any excuses this time. There's no saying, oh, you didn't read it all the way through, man. Oh, you didn't watch it. Oh, you didn't do your research. You didn't do it. No, none of those excuses. I've already been read D-Gray Man. So ain't no excuses. And this is not something like, oh, I read it years ago and I don't remember or anything like that. This is recent. I've read it recently with a new, fresh set of eyes, right? So there's no excuses this time around. But let's start off. Where did D-Gray Man go wrong in the first place? Because I'm going to be honest, D-Gray Man had a decent start. Those first two volumes were actually kind of decent. I was like, okay, this could actually be something. It's kind of like Full Metal Alchemist, but better. Characters weren't as annoying at the time, at least. I'm like, okay, it does feel like a proper edgy story. I'm like, okay, it might actually be decent. And then past that point, all the way up to we're on volume 27, 28 right now. That's where the bullshit began. That's where the shit show began. And yeah, it just went downhill from there. I'm meaning, wow, man. Characters were getting worse by the volume, man. I mean, the characters were so unbearable, it's insane. I mean, Alan is probably one of the most bland, generic protagonists I've ever seen in my life. Konda is also just an emotionless character that has no personality. And the other characters are barely even memorable. And the villains, too. Holy fuck, the Millennium Earl and his little gang of misfits are some of the biggest losers I've ever seen in my life. Boy, they get no shit done, man. They do not feel threatening at all, man. We're supposed to be so scared of them. We're supposed to be so threatened. Oh, they've been around for a millennia. They've been around for ages, man. It's this whole big war that's been going on for years and upon years. And here they are goofing around, fucking around for the sake of it. It's simply sad to me, man. And of course, every time one of these characters seems like they're gonna die, they come back to life instantly and get a power up on top of that. I'm like, holy fuck. Oh, you can't get more, shonen garbage than that. You can't get more tropey than that. You can't get more, trash than that. I mean, Alan should have died so many times in this series, but of course, did the minute he seems like he's gonna get killed off, oh no, he came back because his powers said he could, because the plot said he could. And we need to give, the pro tag a new power up, man, so we gotta do it. Whoa! They did the same thing with Condom, made it look like he was gonna die, he came up with a power up. And then the girl, what's her name, Lena Lee? She was supposed to die and came back with a power up. What is going on here? Don't you see the pattern? And then, of course, you have these losers crying about Alan's backstory. Like, oh, but Yuki, man, his backstory was so deep and emotional, man. It was so impactful. Yeah, I'm sure it did. It took, I don't know how many goddamn years to get his full, complete backstory. And by the time you get it, it's like, I don't even care. Alan is not developed enough to have this crazy good backstory for him. You can't bullshit your way through with power-ups and with a bland main character that just ignores everybody else because he feels like he needs to be edgy to himself. And then all of a sudden I'm supposed to feel sorry for his bitch ass. Fuck no, that's not how good writing is. Even the mangaka herself has admitted multiple times that she's a fraud. Even she knows she can't write this shit that well. Oh boy, that's the real kicker. How in the world are you hyping up a manga, to those heights, and the mangaka herself knows it's not that good? That's how I know you frauds are delusional, that it's all just nostalgia, that you guys don't actually think beyond what's happening in the manga. You guys are not actually reading that shit. You're just there for the fights and power-ups. That's all you're there for that nostalgia, for that edge. And if that's what it is, just say that. Don't say it's a masterpiece, that it's the best shonen of all time, when you damn well know that it's not. And see, that's the problem. There's nothing wrong with liking trash if you know that it's trash and that you admit that you're a loser. But when you try to go above and beyond and act like some big hotshot, act like you have this enormous ego and you really know what you're talking about, it backfires immediately. Because I can immediately sense, okay, something ain't right here. This motherfucker doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He's just saying shit. He's just caught up in his feelings. He's going to feel one way this day and something else the next. Some bipolar ass activity. You know what I mean? And that's exactly how the D-Gray Man fans are, man. They're bipolar as fuck. Man, I mean, D-Gray Man has to be one of the most sucked off, undeserved series that I've ever seen in Jump. And not just in Jump, but in manga in general. I'm like, how could you guys praise a series to this level? It's not some underground masterpiece. It's not some forgotten about shonen that you gotta see. It's not some hidden gem. It's just another product of its time. That's all D-Gray Man is. If you have a nostalgia for it, okay, then just say that. But you guys won't admit it, and that's a problem. That's a big problem. And yeah, I don't tolerate that nonsense. Not around me, motherfucker. Hell no. Huh. But yeah, with that being said, yeah, those are the reasons why D-Gray Man is one of the worst shonen of all time. I even forgot to mention the fact that this series rips off Hunter x Hunter and tons of other battle shonen all in the mix too. I'm like, holy fuck, man. This series has no original sauce whatsoever. It's insane. But, that's just neither here nor there. I mean, a lot of series rip off each other, but especially in D-Gray, man. Holy fuck. But anyways, Hideyuki here, the Rebelling Rose. And until next time, I'll see you.